True story. About 20 or so years ago, I became a new dad and a new guitar player at around the same time. And like all self-taught newbies, those first few songs got played a lot and became the soundtrack of core memories into my family, to the point that now if I want to make my daughter Olivia Misty on command, all I have to do is play. Flake by Jack Johnson.
Well, I know she said it's all right. Well, you can make it up next time.
The first of his many hits.
And I know she knows it's not right. There ain't no use in lying. You probably don't want the whole song. You gotta sit there.
And I never dreamed of hearing it live on my guitar.
You can do better than that. You can do better.
He's being nice. I can't. I also never imagined hanging on his Hawaiian farm.
And so we have like Citrus Island, got Mango Island, we got Spice Island.
But all are welcome, because Kokua Farm is educational. Built not for a singing surfer to sell stuff, but for kids to learn stuff.
So this is like Where's Waldo live action. You get to kind of try to figure out where the queen is.
And somewhere between checking the beehive and squishing into the mud to plant an endangered Hawaiian species, I have a music fan epiphany.
That's cool. That's that little crayfish.
The tunes we love come from both person and place. And without this place, without the sun and soil, waves and wonder of Oahu's North Shore, Jack wouldn't be Jack.
I think growing up here, there's this really slow rhythm that you don't realize you're taking in, which is the sound of waves hitting the shore. And usually that's about 12 seconds, 14 seconds apart.
But while plenty of places have an ocean rhythm, Jack was also raised on aloha, the humble respect for nature and neighbor passed down from the very first Hawaiians. Take Kokua Farm, for example, a word that means to help with joy, a word you hear a lot at Little League baseball games.
When you'd hit a foul ball, the announcer would always say, "Hey kid," you'd be like, "How about a little kokua on the ball?" You have to run out in this overgrown field, jump the fence, and everybody would run around looking for it.
That's funny.
And so that's like in my heart, the word when I hear kokua is like with a lot of joy.
Please, please, please don't drown. Please, please, please don't drown.
And right around the time Flake started drawing bigger crowds, that Hawaiian sense of responsibility would gnaw at his soul.
Going back to those early shows when you have these sort of awakenings, you know, it's like everything's great, and it's like, wow, what a night. And then you walk out on the stage after everybody's gone, and you just see a sea of plastic water bottles. And all of a sudden you're at an amphitheater, and you look out back and you realize, whoa, there's multiple trucks here, there's multiple buses. This is a footprint, you know, an environmental footprint that's kind of bigger than I realized. It's all of a sudden it gets here, and it's a little wake-up call of, okay, how can we do better? What can we do?
It's a question that has haunted concerts and festivals for the last half-century, ever since a few 100,000 showed up on a New York farm for a little peace, love, and music.
What we have in mind is breakfast in bed for 400,000.
Woodstock proved both the enormous cultural power of live music and the enormous mess it can leave behind. A couple of generations later, that simple idea of music in a field with friends has turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry with pop-up cities that demand massive amounts of energy and sanitation and fresh water. And when fame suddenly plopped Jack's Kokua values into this wasteful world, he sought inspiration from his heroes.
I just started looking, okay, Willie Nelson he's running all his trucks and buses on biodiesel, let's do that. Neil Young's putting on the Bridge School benefit every year. Let's do something like that in Hawaii.
While some of my musical heroes would demand bathtubs of booze or other pleasures in their concert riders, he started asking for composting stations, locally sourced food, and plastic-free shows, until such demands became known among promoters as the Jack Johnson package.
Yeah, so much better when we're together.
And even as songs like Better Together hit over 1 billion streams globally, he stuck with it.
Are you doing some weeding? Can I come help you?
Thanks in very large part to her,
Backwards.
Kim Johnson.
Do you think without her you'd be just another burnout, one-hit wonder, surfing somewhere,
Definitely.
playing bars?
100%. Like, it's all due to her.
That's amazing.
No, it's a partnership.
But you
Yeah.
guys you were college sweethearts, like
Yeah, we met when we were 18, first week of school.
Yeah.
So yeah.
and
it's been-
that time he was just a surfer with a guitar, probably, right?
Exactly. Yes.
But at what point did you realize?
I was trying to think of a way to broaden that and make it better, but no, that was pretty much it.
Yes. Surfer with a guitar. I think when you're lucky enough to draw a crowd, my mind was like, what are we going to do with this ability to draw people together? And you feel a sense of purpose that you want to make it bigger than yourself. Like
Well,
what-
some people do.
Yes.
A lot of other
bigger than
people
me.
think.
I didn't want it to all go to his head, so I was like, we got to do something for the benefit of society. And also, I think you're touring every night. At the end of the night, you look out at this like sea of plastic cups on the ground, and you kind of realize the negative impact of what you're doing.
Totally.
So my mind went to what can we do to make it a positive impact. So everything we've been doing over the years has been with that lens of how can we make a positive impact.
I wonder how much of that comes from being Hawaiian, where it is built into the social fabric. You throw the party, you clean up the mess, or everybody helps clean up
Or
the
just
mess.
the concept that, the world is a canoe. When you live on an island, you realize there is no way, because it's like on the other side of the mountain there, okay, we can't just keep filling up that landfill, or, there's like definitely finite space here, and we feel that so much more than, on the continent.
But cleaning up the obvious mess is just one part of the problem. Since Woodstock, humanity has released 1 trillion tons of planet-cooking pollution. Entire ecosystems are being racked by unregulated greed, and outdoor festivals are becoming more dangerous as weather becomes more violent. Can a few superstar musicians who share Jack Johnson's call for Kokua actually do something about it? Can meaningful change ever start at a show? Well, there is new science and new thinking on this. And coming up, we'll explore how the power of Billie Eilish and the bugs on Kokua Farm are all connected.